Hello, my name is Bree, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Breezy Banter, the place where I talk about the things I want to talk about. In today's video, I'm continuing one of the series that I have here on my channel where I talk about a particular indie perfume house and my experience with that house. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the indie perfume shop, Death and Floral. So as I mentioned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the name of the perfume that I tried, whether or not I received it as a free sample, my rating of the perfume out of 10, whether or not I want to full size it, the notes as described by the house itself, and then my experience wearing it. I will also talk about the customer service and turnaround time that I experienced when purchasing from the company. And I always like to start out these videos by talking a bit about my likes and dislikes, so you can use that to understand the context in which I'm reviewing these perfumes. So in terms of notes that I like, this includes vanilla, sugar, cotton candy, and lime. Basically, if something is a sweet gourmand, it's likely to be a hit for me. In terms of notes that are okay or are hit or miss, these include most fruit notes, most florals, and musk. In terms of notes that I tend to dislike, this includes rose, pumpkin, incense, wood, and anything that leans more traditionally masculine. So with that said, let's get into the specific perfumes that I have tried. So the first perfume that I have here is Astronaut Bakes a Cake. I rated it 8 out of 10 and I do not want to full size it. The notes are fluffy classic white cake with cream cheese frosting and apple pie ganache. I said this smelled really good on first application, but the apple comes out as more time goes on. It still smells really nice, but it's less cakey than I would prefer. Next is Astronauts Eating Ice Cream, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. Sorry, I have already full sized it. The notes are vanilla bourbon butter pecan ice cream with toffee pieces and Milky Way fudge swirl. I said that I was told that this smells like cinnamon, but really, really good. That was the way that someone described it to me when they smelled it on me. They were like, that smells like cinnamon, but really, really good. I don't personally, or I didn't get cinnamon myself, but more of a sort of overall soft spice to it. It's like vanilla, cocoa, and some slightly chai notes. Then I tried Astronauts Getting Boba Tea, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are iced honey and winter melon boba tea with a touch of chai milk cap. I said that this was surprisingly rich. I definitely got the honey, chai, and milk notes, with it being particularly honey forward. I don't get any melon from this whatsoever. Next is Black Cherry Bomb, which I originally sampled, and then I received a free larger sample of it in a later purchase. I rated it 8 out of 10, and at the time I said I might want to full size. Now I have like a larger sample of it, so I don't need to full size, which is quite nice. The notes are melted black cherry popsicle juice, ginger ale cream soda, salty and hot summer skin, honeydew, golden caramelized amber. I said this scent is very rich, deep, and sexy. It's definitely melted cherry mixed with some sweet notes, and I think the amber is amping the richness. It's a fun scent, but it's also deeper than what I tend to wear. Next is Cherry Fizzy, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are classic dark cherry soda with small hints of cocoa beans and strong carbonation. I said that this scent is interesting. I can definitely get the dark cherry notes. It smells like there's almost something smoky in it as well. Overall, it's pretty nice, but it's not something I want to smell like regularly. Then there's Coconut Vanilla Vogue, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. This is said to be a single note perfume. And I have since searched for this perfume on their website. My understanding is that they have a Vanilla Vogue scent, which I also tried, but the Coconut Vanilla Vogue was a custom that was made for a customer, and then they ended up selling like a limited batch of it. So I'm not sure if this one, I'm a bit unsure about the status of this one within their catalog. I said that this scent is as described. This scent is really rich and sweet and delicious. I was smelling myself all day. Next is Dunkaroos, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. Again, this is a single note. I said I mostly get the base carrier from this scent, like the base oil, basically. It's fine and gently sweet, but it only lasted about 4 hours and wasn't that strong. Then I tried Gooey Chocolate Chip Cookie, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. Again, this was a single note perfume. I said, as described, this scent is the epitome of melted chocolate. Then I tried Gooey Marshmallow, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. Again, it's a single note perfume. I said, this is simple and sweet. I don't really get any smokiness as I would have expected, but I definitely get a gooey creaminess. Yum. Then I tried Holiday Ennui, which I rated 10 out of 10, and I've since full sized it. The notes are an ode to holiday blues and comfort food. Toasted marshmallow pie accord, hot chocolate powder blended together with softened white amber. I said that this scent is delicious. It's like warm and rich vanilla mixed with marshmallow sweetness. It's very creamy. Then I tried It's All in Your Head, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I have since full sized it. The notes are sun-warmed Texas sunflowers in a bright field, luscious dark amber, vanilla, and freshly baked bread. I said I didn't get any of these notes. I get sugary gummy candies, and it's incredible. Which is kind of interesting because those are two very different scent descriptions. Then I tried Kodachrome, which I rated 5 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are bright red lychee fruit, sweetgrass, cornmeal, rolled oats, and fresh dates. I said this scent is so odd to describe. It originally came out almost graham cracker-y before the lychee really came forward. Then I tried Last Days of Wonder, which I rated 4 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are lemon chiffon cake batter, yellow icing flowers, sweet pollen, and light honey nectar. I said this scent is fine, but it is definitely honey forward. I don't get any of the other notes, which likely would have been incredibly lovely. Then I tried Leopard, Moth, Oreo Cheesecake, which I rated 6 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are realistic crumbly Oreo cake layered with 4 kinds of different chocolate wedged in between molasses and dark fudge. Iced with cream cheese and layered with a graham cracker crust. I said that this is a very rich scent. It smells like chocolate with a bit of spice. I don't really get Oreo, fudge, or graham cracker crust from it, however. Then I tried Mad Woman and Bad Habits, which I rated 6 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are a pool full of bright sparkling citrus champagne blended with lemon and soft lavender, an ode to a life of excess and slowly going mad. I said this definitely gives me boozy ginger ale after cleaning the kitchen vibes. Then I tried May Forever Nap, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. The notes are a freshly laundered cotton pillow blended with soft lavender, iris, and marshmallow. I said the scent is so interesting. It's fresh and yet rich and dreamy. It's lovely and sweet and calming. Then I tried Misspent Youth, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I've since full sized it. The notes are iced cold root beer, the glowing hum of a 7-Eleven parking lot, peppered vanilla, blood orange, and ginger candy, fuzzy gray amber. I said this scent is basically root beer with some tobacco. There's a bit more sophistication than what I'm describing, but that's the gist of it. It's sweet and interesting and sexy. And I very distinctly remember this scent because reading the notes, this is kind of atmospheric. Like, yeah, it's root beer and like kind of tobacco-y, but when you read the notes, when you read the notes and then compare it to what it's called, Misspent Youth, it definitely gives that vibe of like a bunch of teenagers hanging out, not doing like the worst things ever, but also not really doing the things that they should. It very much gives that vibe. Then I tried Pop Cherry, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I might want to full size it. The notes are maraschino cherries, whipped cream, saffron, and black amber. I said the scent is interesting. It definitely smells like a darker cherry scent, making it slightly fruity, but it's much more musky and deep. And then I tried Pop Donuts, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are pink and blue frosted donuts blended with maple syrup and blueberry jam. I said, this is sweet and fun. I definitely get all of the individual notes. Then I tried The Secret of Wives and Widows, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size. The notes are a dark and mysterious blend of Arabian sandalwood, luscious vanilla, orchids, and southern night air. White tea in a fine cup of china held by a figure with long painted nails. I said the scent is odd. I can get the vanilla and the flowers, but there definitely seems to be an earthy overtone to it all. It almost reminds me of Phantome's Ectoplasm. I have a video already on my channel with my experience with Phantome, which is another indie perfume house, and I talk about Ectoplasm in that video. What I remember of Ectoplasm is that it's sweet, but in a way that's very unique, and it's kind of difficult to describe. But if you want more thoughts on it, then you can go watch that video. Then I did the soft crunch of bread and bone, which I rated 3 out of 10, and I do not want full size. The notes are flaky coconut, French madeleines, stifling bakery air, vanilla creme, and crunchy macarons. The last sip of green tea with a mysterious lover. I said it's like that awful pickle juice scent, but with a little bread. So if you're not familiar, some scents, for whatever reason, people will describe it as like a pickle juice scent. I've only had it happen to me maybe like 4 times or so. And of the 4 in which it happened, like they don't really share a particular note. So I don't think it's like a single note that's doing it. I think it's a mixture of whatever's happening in those perfumes that turns kind of pickle juice on me. And it is a deeply unpleasant smell. Then I tried the sweater we buried you with is hanging in my closet, which I rated 5 out of 10, and I do not want full size. The notes are a luscious blend of 3 different vanillas, resinous amber, Arabian sandalwood, a soft cashmere sweater. I said this scent was the definition of middle of the road. So I think it's fine, average. Like if you took kind of the average of all perfumes that exist, I think you would come out with this perfume. Then I tried the Taste of Almost Summer, which I rated 6 out of 10, and I do not want full size. The notes are orange creamsicle ice cream and soft tuberose blended with pink cotton candy and lavender. I said I originally thought that this scent was like watermelon candies. I don't get orange creamsicle, but I do get juicy fruitiness. I would rate this higher if the longevity is there. It wore off in about 4 hours. And then I tried the Woman and Her Time Traveling Picnic Basket, which I rated 5 out of 10, and I do not want full size. The notes are lush aged golden amber, dry sage, buckwheat honey, and orange blossoms. A red gingham blanket under the summer sun and an endless amount of days. I said the description of the scent definitely matches. It's very summery and hay-y, but it's not for me. Then I tried Time Marches On, which I rated 10 out of 10, and I've since full sized it. The notes are a fluffy blend of blue and pink cotton candy, early morning English ivy, and light spring rain. I said that this is sweet, fresh, and fun. It's a lovely spring and summer scent. Then I tried Watercolor Summer, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I have since full sized it. The notes are fresh strawberries, violets, golden amber, and soft lavender. I said that this scent is really interesting. I don't really get any of these individual notes. This scent is genuinely fresh and sweet with a je ne sais quoi-ness to it. Then I tried Wiggly Worm Dance Party on a Funky Fresh Cake, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are fluffy yellow cake topped with marshmallow cream, fresh mint sprigs, and candied mint. A shady, overgrown garden filled with billowing lavender stalks, swarming with fuzzy bumblebees. Wiggly green worms and caterpillars are having a wiggly dance party on top of the cake. They are having a funky, fresh time. I said that I kept smelling my arms all day while I was wearing this. I don't get any mint or lavender, but I do get general cakey vanilla goodness. Then I tried Vanilla Cola Pop, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size it. The notes are cola with a hint of vanilla beans. I said this was fun and smelled almost spicy. Ultimately, I don't want to smell like this regularly. Then, as I mentioned earlier, I tried a scent called Vanilla Vogue, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size it. The notes here are a very refined vanilla, one of my favorite house accord experiments. Contains, among other ingredients, hand-crushed vanilla beans, pure vanilla absolute, tonka, and a whisper of fresh cocoa beans. I said that this is a very, very, very rich vanilla scent. While it's lovely, it's not that unique. So those are all the scents that I tried from Death and Floral. I think you can see here that almost all of them were like 7 out of 10 or above. There was like one I think I rated 3 out of 10 and like one that I rated 4 out of 10 or whatever. But for the most part, like I enjoyed almost everything that I tried from them, which is surprising because when I think of my favorite indie perfume houses, I don't really think of Death and Floral. But then when I actually look at my data, I'm like, Death and Floral should probably be on my list in terms of like the ones that I like the best. So I'm not really sure why that is. In terms of the customer service and turnaround time that I experienced with Death and Floral, so the vast majority of the scents that I tried came from a decant circle, which was done like a couple years ago, and that's because Death and Floral, I don't believe, sells samples. And so that means like you kind of have to take a risk if you want to get, if you want to try these scents before you actually know what they smell like. And so somebody had run a decant circle, and so I had tried the vast majority of these via that decant circle. And then after I'd finished trying my samples, I had gone twice to purchase full sizes of some of them. So one time I had ordered on May 10th and my order shipped May 24th. And another time I had ordered November 29th and my order shipped December 15th. So that's about 2 weeks in both cases, and that was within their stated turnaround time. I found that when ordering from them, they're very clear about their stated turnaround time, and they update, at least at the time, they were updating it every Monday, I believe, with the order numbers that were going to go out that week. And I personally, like, I haven't had an issue with them, and everything that I've read indicates that others haven't had issues with them as well. I know that they were previously based in Texas, and I think when like the hurricane happened somewhat recently, they updated, like there might be a delay because of that, but they were very communicative with their customers. So it's like, I think if something super, I guess like catastrophic like that happens, perhaps you might be affected. But it's like a one-off situation. And like I said, she communicated that to customers who were waiting on their orders. One thing that I do have to mention is that the shop is closed for the year of 2025, unfortunately. There were a variety of reasons for it, but my understanding is that the owner was moving from Texas to another state. I can't remember if she mentioned it publicly or not. If she has, then I unfortunately forget where it is. But she was moving states, and so it just sounded like that was going to be a process. But she did intend on reopening in 2026. The other thing is that previously they had a very significant general catalog. So I think almost everything that I read here came from the general catalog, but she intends on moving to a more like seasonal release schedule with a smaller number of perfumes, like the most popular ones, remaining in the general catalog. And so I think her intent was to just narrow down her best-selling perfumes, and then having fewer perfumes in stock on like an ongoing basis, just to make it easier for herself, which I understand. It just means that unfortunately some of the scents that you might want to try might not be available when you're looking to buy. The other thing that I'll mention is that they do a scent of the month. So if you order from them during whatever month, you get a free version of that scent. You can request for a free random perfume to be included instead of that scent. So I'm just making this up, but if you order the day that I'm filming this, it's in March. So if I ordered today, I would get the scent of the month for March. But I could say, if for whatever reason, like I'm not interested in that particular scent, I can say, hey, like please replace this with a random perfume instead. As far as I'm aware, you can't request a specific one. It has to be random or scent of the month. One other thing that they do is that if you order within 30 days of your birthday, they will include, you have to make a note of it when you order, but they will include a free 5 ml of your choosing, provided that that 5 ml scent is in their general catalog. So that's pretty nice. As I've said before on my channel many times, like getting free samples, it's always a pleasure. For the most part, it's always a pleasure, and I enjoy it. Particularly because there are some perfumes that I've ended up loving that I've received as free samples, and I absolutely would not have tried them otherwise. That said, I don't take points off when I'm like considering companies if they don't include free samples, because at the end of the day, what matters to me is that I got what I paid for. So free samples, like I said, like that's above and beyond, but I don't consider it necessary or a negative if that's not included. In terms of who I think this shop would be good for, I think there's a lot of people. They're, at least without knowing exactly how the scents are going to be changed when she releases like her seasonal releases, as opposed to having like one really large general catalog, I think she like just has tons of perfumes. It's difficult for me to imagine that someone has tastes that aren't represented within her scents. Like there's so many. I picked the ones that I tried based on my likes and what I thought I would enjoy. So of course they leaned more into like the sweet gourmands side of things. but that's not to say that's all that she has. That's absolutely not the case. I also think that they have some fun with like some of their names, and I think for whatever reason, like the names of the perfumes kind of tickle my fancy. I like the idea of a perfume called Misspent Youth, and it's root beer and tobacco, and it's like a humming 7-Eleven sign. I really enjoy that. So I think she's really good at having sort of like the more atmospheric side of things really come through in her perfumes as well. So unfortunately, I don't think I can really say like there's one person or two people with a particular preference that would really do well with this store. I think they just have so much on offer that I think a lot of people would be well served by this particular store. So with that in mind, I think that's all that I had to say about Death and Floral. If you've tried Death and Floral and I didn't mention any of the scents that you tried, but you think I would like them, please let me know, because as I mentioned, there are several scents that I still want to full size, so I know that I will be purchasing from them in the future. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you will like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And before I go, I'd like to take a minute to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend watching this video. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. Bye.